to live here too. Come home to Ascension Living.
So when you come up here to take your own personal tour of Sewanee, you're going to begin to hear kind of a familiar phrase as you go to the next destination. Shop owners are going to say to you, oh, it's just around the corner. And they're not kidding. Our next stop this morning is Woody's Bicycles, just around the corner. Thank you for welcoming us in, Woody.
Well, thank you for being here.
Are you making fun of my accent already?
I will not disclose that at all. So,
okay, I don't know if we're going to talk to Woody about bicycles. Of course, we're going to talk about bicycles.
how can I make fun of a Southern accent at the University of the South?
This is a very fair point. So we came walking in today, and there you were working on a bike.
Right.
You said it's every boy's dream come true because when you make a mess, you don't have to worry about it. It's your shop.
Well, you eventually have to clean it up, but when you're working on it, you grab something and you're through with it, you throw it on the floor. And how wonderful is that? What a great feeling.
We've had a good time being here before you and I got on camera to talk, Woody, because we had to kind of do a tour, got to do a tour of your shop here. And I'm surrounded by men today. I'm the lone female. And it's been so fun to eavesdrop on y'all's conversations because, yes, we'll talk bicycles, but you can't talk bicycles and not talk nostalgia. It's been, do you remember this bike? Were you a kid when you had this bike? That's part of what you're selling is the American experience, right?
I think you hit the nail right on the head. That one thing that most Americans have in common is that at one time or another, usually when they're about 6 or 7, and actually with my grandchildren at 3 years old, they learn how to ride a bike. And I gave a little talk to the elementary school the other day, and I told them, I said, you know, I'm not going to tell you how old I am, but I used to be your age. And a lot of that stuff I can't remember. It was so long ago, but I remember the day I learned how to ride a bike and the feeling that it brought to me. So, yes.
And that's what you're capitalizing on here. So when you come into Sewanee, as we told you, everything is in real close proximity. The shop owners know each other. The locals all know each other. Pretty soon, the tourists like us will get to know each other. You mentioned our little banter of dialects. You came to Sewanee to be a student at the University of the South from Connecticut.
That is correct.
You fell in love with Franklin County, and this has been home for you ever since. But like most people, once you reach a certain age, your life is taking you down a couple of different paths. You kind of got the bicycle part of your life only in the last, 20 years or so?
Actually 28 years.
In those 28 years, there's been a real explosion in the bicycle industry. So yes, there is the nostalgia and the history when you come in here. And yes, in the back room, there are the little kids' bikes for the 3-year-olds just starting out. But you then progress up, Woody, and you've got the highest technology around.
The technology, a lot of that has changed. And what's wonderful about a bicycle is when you see through all that stuff, it still works the same as it did 100 years ago. You push down on your foot and it makes the bike go forward. There is a certain simplicity involved that makes the bicycle wonderful.
But I mentioned the technology advancements. Sometimes if you're watching and you're not a bicycle enthusiast, you can sometimes not give enough credit to the advancements in the bikes. They are made to last in a different way now than they used to
I
be.
am not a curmudgeon about these advancements. I think a lot of them, most of them are marvelous.
So when you come in the store, first of all, there's a quaintness. That's the only word I know to use. It's a man's world when you come here to Woody's Bicycles. But the bikes that we see out front are the ones that tourists like I could rent for the day. Is that right?
The ones out front, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're intended for kind of street use only.
Yes, and driving on the Mountain Goat Trail, which for those of you that don't know, that is an incredible rails to trail system running from here all the way into Grundy County. But yes, it's all paved asphalt. Riding around Sewanee is a treat. You can do that for hours.
Well, sure you can with 13,000 acres
That's
on the
right.
campus, right?
That's right.
If you are looking, though, people will often frequent. They come up here often. They'll get to know you. Bit by bit, their interest in cycling might peak, and they'll want to make a purchase. So you have everything from mountain bikes. You have the kind of like a hybrid bike, right? The electric. And you
Correct.
like those.
Yeah. Yep. The hybrid bikes are my bread and butter.
Are they?
Yeah. And, the cyclists are there and they want the high-end bikes. This is their more than a hobby. It's what they do when they have a moment. But most people want to just ride a bike, and they don't want to do it 4 times a week and put on 50, 60 miles each time, or go out for 3 hours mountain biking on the trails. They want to just sort of cruise around. And they recognize that it's a great way of seeing things. In a car, you go too fast. When you're walking, you don't cover enough ground. On a bicycle is perfect. And especially for the renters or for people that just have bikes to ride on the Mountain Goat Trail, or the kids ride to school. And yes, kids ride to school here in this little community, which is totally cool.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
There are pockets of Chattanooga where that happens still too, but not too many. The trails, before I let you run, I know you've got maps galore here. You're happy to point people in some good directions.
Yes.
Do you have a favorite?
Well, for mountain biking, the Perimeter Trail, I don't know how many thousands of times I've actually ridden on it, but I haven't gotten tired of it yet. And so yes, that offers, it starts as an intermediate and into a sort of blue-black diamond challenging trail too. But so there's that, and then the road riding in the valley. If you put on 50, 60 miles and you're enthusiastic in that sort, there are hundreds and hundreds of back roads interconnecting with very little traffic. And yes, I'm going to anger people in Atlanta and Chattanooga saying half the cars wave at you as they go by. I mean, it's incredible.
Good.
It's world class, and they're not little easy flat roads. There are hills in Middle Tennessee. You may have noticed that.
We may have noticed a little bit. So you're closed on Sundays and Mondays.
That is correct.
I know that you're about to, when we leave you this morning, you're going to head out on your own ride. I hope you have a good one. Folks can find you. Should they call ahead if they want to reserve a bike, or just
that helps.
Okay.
Yes. I mean, if they can't, they can also show up. And they have to be patient while we bring the bike out and prepare it.
And when you show up, have a sharp wit about you, because he likes a good barb. Woody, thank you.
Thank you.
At Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries, we make sure your favorite spot is designed to be super comfortable. Whether you're a cuddler, an upside downer, a leg dangler, or all of the above. Announcing the Lazy Boy Memorial Day sale. For a limited time, you can save 30% on everything in the store. Plus, you'll get 0% interest financing for 36 months.
What do you think?
Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries. Live life comfortably.
Life changed, almost in an instant. Many went from normal to quarantined, unemployed, and fearful. We know it's serious, but let's not forget the things God has told us. Be not afraid, and the truth will set you free. Now is the time for faith and the facts, not fear. Call 1-833-99-JESUS if you have questions about God or just need to talk.
I'm Rebecca, and you might know me from reality TV.
And this was my stubborn body fat that I just couldn't get rid of. But then I went to Sono Bello, and they permanently removed my body fat in just one visit.
It is so intensely gratifying for one visit to make this big of a change. It's amazing.
Sono Bello's board-certified surgeons use micro-laser technology to safely target and remove your diet-resistant fat cells permanently on your stomach, hips and thighs, back, and so much more.
It feels incredible.
incredible to look down and it's flat. Thank you again, Sonobello. I'm so happy.
Schedule your free, no obligation consultation and find out how you can get $250 off instantly. Call 1-888